What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are going to talk about some social justice warrior nonsense in Star Wars because it's another day, so clearly that's going to happen. But before we get into that, and the irony of me making this announcement with this video and showing you how it's done is flawless. So yesterday you saw that we uploaded a video to this channel, and we had a special guest on the channel, and her name is Jessie Milestone from Mindless Entertainment. That video did phenomenal. That video was very well received here on the channel. And first of all, I'd like to thank all of you, and I would like to thank Jessie for making that video and reaching out to me a few weeks ago. Because of the response and because of Jessie's amazing personality and enthusiasm, I am happy to announce that moving forward here on the Geeks and Gamers channel, you will be seeing Jessie on a weekly basis doing different videos for us with different topics. So that very strong personality, that very abrasive personality is going to work perfect here. I've been looking for different content creators to complement me on this channel and maybe be a different perspective than I can give and maybe have different opinions than me. And Jessie is definitely going to be able to bring that because she has a very strong personality. So very happy to have her on board. It's really exciting for us. So look forward to that. Okay, so let's jump into this SJW virtue signaling from Disney and Lucasfilm on Star Wars. Because Star Wars is no longer about a galaxy far, far away. All Star Wars is, since Disney took over, is a social justice warrior experiment. It's a place to virtue signal and prove to everyone that you respect women and you respect minorities, and you're going to damn sure make a point to let all of us know that you respect women and minorities. And you don't care if white men are involved. As a matter of fact, according to Rian Johnson, he says we need less white dudes involved with Star Wars. His exact quote. This is what Star Wars has become. It has become nothing more than a political machine that Disney is trying to grandstand on, and it is utterly ridiculous and disgusting. So, I don't know about you, okay, but I've been following movies for a while, and I kind of take the same approach with movies that I do my sports, because I'm a big sports fan. And so with sports, it's always about numbers and using these numbers to argue and finding all the details out, like who's going to be playing this week, okay, who's going to be lining up behind center, who's going to be a defensive tackle and defensive end, who's going to be playing guard or center in the NBA, all the little details, who's our coach, who's our offensive line coach, who's our quarterback coach, who's a defensive coach. Well, in movies, that's the same process I take. Who's the director? Okay, who's the cinematographer? Who's the actor? Who's going to be the supporting actor? Who's going to be covering this role? Oh, okay, look, this is going to be great because they look just like the person from the comics or whatever. All the details matter. At no point have I ever heard or have I mentioned the second unit director in a film for a reason that I should be excited. I have literally never heard anyone go, I want to be excited for this new Marvel movie, but until I find out who the second unit director is, I can't be hyped. I've literally never heard anybody say that. Literally never, ever, ever. And you've never heard anybody say it either, because nobody's ever said it. But because of identity politics and because of virtue signaling, that is exactly what happened yesterday. So, our good friend Ava DuVernay on Twitter decided to share a picture of J.J. Abrams and a lady called Victoria Mahoney. And Ava says, happy to share this historic news. A black woman directing stories in a galaxy far, far away. First unit director. Hashtag J.J. Abrams. Second unit director. Victoria Mahoney. So she's a second unit director. Again, I don't know what these positions are. It's like they're inventing positions to make you believe how good of a person they are now. We're just going to invent positions. So I went to IMDb, and I can't even find these positions listed. Obviously, they are positions. I'm not saying they aren't. But they're so insignificant. Like, none of the people that have these positions even have pictures on IMDb. But yesterday, when this was announced, and let me be clear, I have nothing against the person, Victoria Mahoney. Congratulations for getting a position that I've never heard of. So more power to her. That's awesome. And as long as she's qualified for the position, I really don't care. But the fact that they are using her race and her gender to highlight the position and not her resume is a big red flag for me. So at no point in the comments, at no point in Ava's tweet, in no point in this person's tweet that they're talking about, did they mention her resume. Never. I've not heard anything about, after the great work she did in this film or that film, we are happy to bring her on to help us tell such a wonderful story in Star Wars Episode 9. I haven't heard that yet. All I've heard of her is her race and her gender. Again, really? Like, so we're just hiring people based on race and gender so we can get social justice warrior points on social media. That's exactly what this is about. So again, I don't understand how people can't see right through this craziness. They are just doing this to make you think that they are good people. If you are a good person and you have a qualified person for a job, you shouldn't have to highlight their race or their gender. Pretty sure we can see that with our own two eyes. But again, this is a position I have literally never, ever heard anybody be happy about. I've never heard it mentioned ever, as long as I've been a movie fan. Yet now it is historic news. Historic news. Why? Not because of the race and the gender involved. It's so bad that Star Wars has gotten to this point. And I've said it many times before. I have a super diverse team. And at no point have I ever introduced my diverse team as anything other than qualified people for the positions that I have them in. And that's it. I don't need to tell you who they sleep with. I don't need to tell you what color they are. I don't need to tell you their religion. I don't need to tell you anything other than this person got this position because they are good at what they do. That's simple. Because I don't need to pretend that I'm a good person. Because guess what? I'm a shitty person just like you're a shitty person. Just like every person that lives is a shitty person in some way, shape, or form. We all do things that we're embarrassed about. We all do things that we don't want to say out loud. We all are like that. Except apparently for the employees at Lucasfilm. Because J.J. Abrams wants you to know that he's a good guy. And he respects women. And that's why he hired a black woman to do a job. And he needs to make sure he pushes that point home. Star Wars is no longer what it was. It is no longer about the mythology. It is about a social experiment. It is about social justice warrior politics, identity politics, and grandstanding on social media. That is what Star Wars is about. So again, I want to make this clear. And maybe the person that was hired was qualified. Unfortunately, the people that are making the announcements that she was hired are not talking about her qualifications. They are specifically pointing out her race and her gender. So that makes me go, what has she done to get this position? I mean, what has she done? As a fan of Star Wars, well, getting to the point where I'm going to be a former fan of Star Wars, but as a fan of Star Wars, I don't need to hear what her race and her gender is. I just need to hear what has she done and how much knowledge of Star Wars does she have and what is she going to bring to the table. That's with me assuming you're going to tell me about this position in the first place. But in reality, this position's never been mentioned before. I don't remember the first unit or the second unit director or whatever the hell it's called. I don't remember that position being announced for The Force Awakens. I don't remember that being announced for The Last Jedi. I don't remember it being announced for Rogue One. I don't remember it being announced for the Dark Knight trilogy, the Harry Potter movies, Lord of the Rings. I don't remember it ever being announced. And if it was announced, it damn sure was not announced as a historic hiring. So anyway, more virtue signaling and more proof that Disney has taken Star Wars and something that was once great and turned it into identity politics. That is their focus, not telling a good story. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you later.